and a plate. G'day guys. Today we're working on these two portraits. We started them yesterday, made some fairly good ground, and now we're back for more. I'll just put you right there. Now, hold fire for a hot second. I've got to grab a plate. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know one little perfect. You flick this here. There we go. Welcome on, you guys. If you haven't seen these ones before, jump back onto my TikTok feed, and there's a reel of how we got to here. Otherwise, we're about to do some more paint. That's the plan. Now these pieces are a little bit different because there's oil on them. They are made with oil. So what that means, gloves. I'll be away. Who's that there? Back. I love how you take us on the creative journey. I love how you're here with me on the creative journey. You absolute legend. And Ryan, let's go. So, let me just get this little packet here. So to finish these paintings off, I've got 12 mils of every colour, flat line, 12 mils. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So that means each painting should hypothetically get 6 mils of each colour. 6 mils of each colour if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 times 12, what's that? 82. Is it 82? Somewhere around there. So there's 82 mils of paint. Oh, would you believe it? They've each got those little tags on them. Alright, we're going glove free. With our 2 hands. Otherwise we'll never get these little tags off. Not even. This is going to be I'll put this here, so that way I'm not sitting there with my back to you the whole time. There we go. It's tube number 1. Go naked on both hands just for the early dexterity. Did that just? Oh no, that was the iPad. Hey, thanks so much. Beck, welcome on in. 72. Who's 72? Am I 72? That's twice my age, more than twice. Hey Steve, and energy. I'm glad you like it. This is these are two experimental projects. I need to cut a little loose yesterday. Hey Jules. And I was doing a few landscapes, but I got this hankering. And I've had it twice now since I've been in Tauranga. A hankering for portraits. And I'm sorry, it's 7:30 in the morning here, so I don't have a whole bunch of control over my hair. But that's okay. You'll tolerate me for it. Jewel, oh my god, hi. I'm a supporter on Instagram and finally made it to your lives. Greetings from Munich. Welcome on in, Jules. Or Jewel. We got something else called Jewel, so I make a little mistake there. This is New Zealand. Now, you're in for quite a fun one. Usually on these lives, we're working with acrylic paint. For this one and this one only. For this live and this live only. We're working with oil paints. So it's a little bit different. Now, it's not the end of the world, but it is going to run differently in that the paints won't ever actually dry for me. So when we land paint, it stays. Yeah, it's early morning here in New Zealand. What the hell is this one? And for those who watched the most recent reel on Instagram, sorry about the song. I couldn't help myself. When I put the song on there and it fitted so well, I just thought, it's got to be that one. It's got to be that one. But it's a wee bit silly. It's from a comedy movie Will Ferrell made called Eurovision. And it's a song called Double Trouble. And I personally think it's a hilarious song because we're doing two canvases at once. So it fits, right? It fits. Thor. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I can't control lightning. And I guess I've got a brother named Toby. So that's kind of close to Loki. But he's not a frost giant. He's just a regular human. No offense to him, but a regular human. Hey, Joanne. Well, thanks for being here. Do you remember the mustard man from Munich? I need more context. At the moment, can I give you like a soft no? But with more context, that might change. I'm in Dunedin. What are you doing up at 7 a.m. in Dunedin? Is that Morena? So many Kiwis up early. I thought we'd be getting our beauty sleep in. But here we are, all enjoying the live. Another Morena, another Kiwi. Do we have any, yeah, up early in the morning, I've been up all night. Do we have any internationals here? And if you are in America, we want to hear the state as well, not just USA. So if you're in Tennessee, if you're in a big city we might recognize, we always respect to call out to that. Sydney and New York, Colorado, Texas, Michigan. Oh, what a cool list. South Africa and Cape Town. There's always someone from Cape Town in here. And I respect that. Rampant City, South Dakota, USA. Okay, who does the Norway? I was about to say, who does the most furthest out of off the map place go to? It's got to go to Norway, right? Denver. My first experience with Denver is from a South Park episode with the Baghdad and Randy Marsh's fighting his dad at Little League baseball games. And the dad roots for Denver. First exposure. And what's that? Antigua. Tony. Where is that? This is New Zealand, by the way, guys. This is New Zealand. I'm in Tauranga. So our time zone's plus 12. So for anyone else in the world, typically you're looking at a time zone that we are in the future of. So when we travel between New Zealand and international, we typically either gain a day or lose a day on the plane flight. There was one year where I flew back from Canada around New Year's. I actually missed New Year's because it was happening, it was about to start when I got on the plane, and then I leapt over the date as I came back. I think that's how it worked. Not a big deal though, guys. I'm not a big partier. I'm more of a close friends, good time kind of a guy. Less of a strangers, loud music kind of guy. Alright, gloves. Yeah, you're in root band country tonight. Alright, here's our paints. First thing you'll tell about oil paints, they're much more thick and buttery. So see, even though I hold it on this angle, only that white's trying to slip a little bit. That's because, go figure, the difference between oil paints and acrylic paints. What is the difference? What is the difference? And we got caught up in branding actually too. You'd say the difference between the two of them is one is oil based. Naughty packaging. And one is water based. But that's not entirely true. Now, for these next few layers with the oil paints, we've got some dirty brushes. Check that. These are cheap brushes. You can tell they're cheap because the bristles have no continuity. They go in all directions. That's actually good for me because I want you to be able to see the brush strokes. So the more bristly and scuffly the brush, the better the result that we're actually going to get. Now, I think I can tuck them into. Just get one of each here. And sorry, going back to oil and water paints. They call them water-based paints, but acrylic isn't really actually water-based paint. It's more like a plastic because the vehicle, they call it the vehicle, the thing that moves the paint around, that moves the pigment around, an acrylic paint is actually acrylic polymer, similar to PVA, which is totally fine. I'm not bagging on that. It's just you're not using water. That would be watercolor. Watercolor is water with the pigment, and it has this amazing smooth flowing style. Acrylic is more like a glue. It dries like a glue. You can use it to stick things together if you really have to. And yeah, acrylic polymers. But oil is very, very slow drying. Why? Because you're not using acrylic polymers, that sort of PVA glue style. You're literally using oil. Now there are solvents in oil paint a lot of the time, but with regular oil paint, the two biggest things you'll find in it is your oil, which can be from a spectrum of oils, and your pigment. And because of that, oil doesn't like to dry within a few minutes. So that's why if I come up here and touch this painting, and I was doing this yesterday, look at that. Still wet, still very wet. We use acrylic in the US to make fake nails. Yeah, acrylic has a lot of purposes, guys, and there is no better one. When they're like, what's better, oil or acrylic? You're like, that's just not a helpful question. That's like saying, what's better, brick houses, concrete houses, or wood houses? You're like, they've all got great purposes. Brick's great for longevity, but not great in earthquakes. Wood's great for replacing small parts of it, but typically wood does rot eventually. Concrete's great, but it can be cold. Like, play to the field you're on. Each paint has a wildly different purpose. So when you're trying to choose a paint to use, what I would say is start with what do you want to achieve, and then reverse engineer it. We're going to start off with the fat brush. That's a good move. Everything's sorted. We have this here. Is this playing? Should be playing ball. It's plugged in. Okay, let's just turn all the services off. The iPad's on 8%, but it is plugged in. It should be charging, but we'll see. If that dips down to 5%, it means it's losing charge. If it stays, it means we're golden. Now, first colour off the ranks. What is it going to be? The hankering for this deeper blue. Can I bring this up and show you guys what I'm talking about with these brush strokes? Right up here. You see how that brush, it's messy. They charge cheaper dollars for these brushes because they're so messy. But you can see on the edge of this plate, see how you can really see the brush strokes? Yeah. So, for advanced detail, a brush like this isn't your friend. To really show off the fact that you're doing a rudimentary method like painting, this brush is your best friend. Or going overtime. Gosh, you're dedicated. Thanks, Chris. Good to have you in here. And another Chris. Hey, said straight afterwards. Chris. Double trouble. Hello, Nick. And then last one before I crack into some painting. You missed my galaxy. I'm the dude we spoke to about Munich sausages. And the guy that makes mustard. Oh, hello. And I'm sorry I missed your galaxy. I'll tell you what, I'll do you a favor. Let me scroll up here and see if I can find it. No, oh, I see it. It's up high, but I saw it. I was wondering, we might tee it up. I'm gonna give it a go, guys. Let me just, there's a feature they added to TikTok, and I'm gonna see if I can play with it. It's in the enhance area. They added a feature, a brand new one, which is really, really cool, which was, yeah, here we go, support non-profit. Sweet. And then down here, there was a New Zealand one. Where are you, baby? You know I'm in double trouble tonight. Just scrolling down for it. What was it called? The New Zealand charity Mexican Red Cross. They've got so many here. But there should be a Kiwi one. American Heart Foundation. Yeah, sure. Oh no, American Cancer Society. That looks fun. Bang. There we go. Is that going to get in the way, guys? Is that there permanently? Who can see what I just put up on the screen? And so this fun little bar here. Oh, and this used to be, when I was a little tacker, this was my gym. So I'd literally just have this bar. And you pull ups on this and push ups on the ground, and that's everything you needed. You can see it. And DH, is that in the way of the painting? Because it's quite a big box. So we might have to, if it's in the way of the painting, I'll put a donation link up. It's basically, guys, if you can't see it, it's a donation link, but it's only available in some countries. So what we might do is if it's in the way of everything, when we do our Q&A reels, I'll bring it up and put it up, and we can have some kind of fun game we play to try and get donations for some charity that we find meaningful around the world. But if it's in the way, yeah, it's in the way. Okay, we'll pop it off for now. And in the future, when we do the Q&A reels, we'll put one up because we're not showing a painting there, it's just me yarning, so it's safer. All right. This one here needs a clamp. If I can figure out what I did with my last clamp. It's somewhere around here. Oh, there we go. It's okay. Put that down for a moment. This is what we need. Big, dirty, rusted clamp. Otherwise, that board's gonna slip. We can't have that. All right, deep blues. Casey, I know a Kiwi accent anywhere. Well, that's good. You found one. 100% Kiwi. My ancestors arrived in New Zealand back in 19th century, I think it was 1843. And they arrived on the good ship Bolton. It was called the good ship Bolton because not all the ships, this is too fat. Sometimes you don't just want the biggest brush team. It's a bit on for the job. It was called the good ship Bolton because most of the ships, 1/3 of them, it's not most, a portion of them didn't actually make it across the ocean. It was John Gower. He made the journey, and when he made the journey, he was written down as profession agricultural, and that was how the Gower family arrived in New Zealand from Cornwall in England. And from there, John Gower had 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 or 7 generations. Farmers, lots of farmers, lots of farmers. It was only my father who actually, he was a farmer too, but he pursued deer recovery. And so since he was doing deer recovery, he ended up flying helicopters. And once he was flying helicopters, we went on the farm as often. And so that's where I ended up becoming a bit more of an artist. But elements of the farm still creep into a lot of the things that we do. For example, we're painting a shed right now. This is a shed on a farm. And it's kind of funny. A little bit, about 10% of the top is not visible. Ah, yes, yeah. Don't worry, we'll bring it back for the, we'll bring it back on the Q&A streams. Because I've been a little bit slack, guys. We haven't done a whole lot of Q&A streams, and I feel like we should bring those back because they were fun, right? We had fun doing that. How much for customized paint? Depends who you're buying it off. Customized paint off Sid Gower art? Jeepers. Maybe not. He's too expensive. Ignore that guy. Customized paintings vary. depends on the size you're after, depends on where you are in the world. The best way to get yourself a quote on how much it's going to cost is to go onto the link in my bio and select commission. You'll be away. From that same link you can find prints to see what completed artwork looks like. You can find all sorts of bits and pieces. So, I hope that helps. Hello to Thailand. Katmar, welcome on in. And Ryan, what happened? What did I do? And who's this sneaking on in here? Pajan, welcome on in. Wait. What is this capturing style called? Is that because, when you say what is this capturing style called, is that because the style here has captured you? Or you're saying that all styles capture and you're wondering what the definition of this particular style of capture would be called? And this is, I mean, jeepers guys, I call it impressionism a whole lot, but I call it primal impressionism. But is that even correct? Definitions aren't the best thing, guys. The only reason why definitions help, and we've got a little bit of an obsession with them in 2024, is because we feel like definitions are the thing that actually allow us to Google search for things. But if you want to Google search for more paintings like this, you have to say the modern impressionists. If you search French impressionism, you'd find more paintings like this. But is this French impressionism? I'm not French. I never studied with the French. I'm not trying to be an impressionist. Did the French impressionists know they were French impressionists? So, in that sense, it's a definition less to help you understand how to make the art, and more to help someone who didn't make the art categorize it. In which case, the definition would have nothing to do with the art you were technically making. Think about that. The unconventional colours, I think they're pretty spot on, aren't they? Maybe I'm just a bit colourblind. And, oh, thanks Pajan. Appreciate that. Pajan, am I saying that right? I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the J. But if I'm wrong, sing out. I got Eurovision stuck in my head, guys. Double trouble tonight. Hey baby, can you talk to me? You know, I would actually go out to nightclubs. I swear, I'd go out if they'd play Disney and Eurovision. I don't know why we have to play the cool songs. Like, why do nightclubs have to be cool? And the fact that it seems weird to me. I feel like us geeks have money too. Where's a nightclub that just plays Lord of the Rings techno? I'm right here. I've got a pocket with a little bit of money in it, and I will spend it on Lord of the Rings themed cocktails. Like, where's this club for me? It strikes me we've got 17 clubs for the top 40 songs and neon lights. I'm not going in those because I can't hear what anyone says. And the strobe lights are disorientating. But tell you what, imagine if you went downtown, imagine this. You went downtown, there's a Lord of the Rings theme bar, there's a Warhammer theme bar, and it's, oh my god, and the dance floor is like a grid. and a Crash Bandicoot theme bar, deal me up. And I I just feel like the audience you'd pull in, we'd still spend a bit of money, but would be less trouble. I'm not going to cause trouble. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to, you know, if there's Lord of the Rings paraphernalia around the room, I'm going to try and look after it, you know, more than anything. I'm going to protect the place. So, look, I just feel like there's a missed opportunity there. Like, well, those people don't go out. Well, you're not playing Lord of the Rings in the club. I prefer to sit on the couch, adjust my website, answer some emails, and watch the trilogy. Not the whole trilogy. Yeah. If you can't wear a cape, I don't want to come. Yeah. Fair enough. I think you can wear a cape. If you look odd standing in the line or inside with a cape, then it's the wrong vibe. It has to be the kind of cape, like the kind of mood that if you saw a cape, you'd be completely unfazed by it. Disinterested in its entirety. Now we're talking about a good vibe. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. I've got one last sip of coffee. Try and enjoy it. But I'm not lying, guys. My favourite pastime, one of my very favourite pastimes, is to jump on the Lord of the Rings Facebook group and just concentrate on that brushstroke there, and just read about the lore. Not because, I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings story, there's a lot of good stories out there, but actually it's therapeutic only because Tolkien put so much thought into all the possible directions and ideas and places the story could go. And because of that, it's so nuanced. And if you haven't learned this about me yet, Seb loves a nuance. Lord, are you excited for the Hunt of Gollum? Oh look, not really. I don't play Lord of the Rings games. I like the movies. You're like, well, wouldn't you into all the stuff? Nah, just put on Two Towers again. And honestly, with the Gollum thing, I love Return of the King, but I will skip over the Frodo Gollum bits because the first half the movie on them, and sometimes until they actually get to Mordor, it's just a lot. And I get it, it's so important because you need to show Frodo's like slow descent into madness and, you know, treachery with the ring. But I just feel like it feels like the same scene over and over. But if I was in charge creatively of what scenes would be in there, if I actually could override Peter Jackson, I wouldn't change a thing. They all need to be in there. It's just a lot. And so that's how I feel. Because if you didn't show it, it'd be very confusing to understand how Frodo actually went from being the courageous hero to the person who would eventually keep the ring and condemn Middle-earth. For anyone who's confused. O no sí. No hablo español. Yeah. We have agreements. That's good. My partner Shelby, fun fact guys, she actually worked on the set of The Rings of Power. So Shelby was a wrangler. Every time you see a horse scene in The Rings of Power, it's likely she played a role in bringing that scene into existence. So that's pretty fun. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Hey, how do we feel too, long-term team, about the canvases being back-to-back like this? Is this annoying? Do you want to put them side by side, or do you enjoy the swapping backwards and forwards? I honestly, personally, I don't mind one little bit. But if you're finding you're losing visual on a canvas too often, I can make a deviation. I can deviate and abbreviate. I can deviate and abbreviate. Am I married? I'm not, Mark. And it's very naughty because I've got a baby girl. But marriage is one day on the cards. Is it going to happen today? Well, I hadn't planned for it, but you know, possibilities are everywhere in this world these days. Mark's coming in with the feelings. Can you put the camera in a different position? Of course I can. Of course I can. So what we'll do is I'll feed this this way. I know we're in double trouble tonight. Hey baby, can you look at me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Show me your light. Show me your light. Hey baby, can you look at me? I know we're in double. Sorry for the terrible song team. I'll put you there. How's that? Is that a... I'll work on this one, and then back to this one, and then back to this one. That should work just fine. And then this here. Got a light. Shed some light on the situation. And we've still got a handy bar to hang on to. Real winner, that one. Alright. Where were we at? Yay! Better. Good. Good, good, good. Alright. Let's get this up in here. God will make me lose my mind. Up in here. up in here, gal gonna make me act a fool. For those who were born outside of the 90s, you will have no idea what I was saying. Hey baby, Canyon. Love what you do. Thanks, Mohammed. Welcome on in. Seb, you're being naughty with the emails again. Poor Max is waiting. Oh, jeepers. I'm sorry, Ryan. Max is waiting on me. All right. I'll fix this. Sorry, Ryan. Love from Ireland, sending love back. I've been in a bit of a funny thing right now because I've been down in Tauranga, which is usually a great time, but rather than attacking emails in the rain, I try to figure out complex ways that I could actually get out and paint in the rain. So I got a little bit distracted. That being said, we have had some fun. Look at what we made. He's painting my dog, Max. That is the plan. Ah, yes. I have an email to send out. Yes. Yes. That one I have got logged. I thought for a second there, I was getting caught up with another email. So many people to talk to, so little time. There we go. It just, when you work with these oils, everything just lands so differently. Kind of fun. I was wondering as well, this is a stupid thought, guys, so bear with me. I'll admit to it being stupid before I even start. Scented paint. How do we feel? Max is gorgeous. Can't wait to see it live. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. But we'll wait for the weather to clear up as well on any big projects like that, just because it's fun to do these kind of ones. Oh, excuse me, but to sneeze. It's fun to do these ones inside here, just quietly and steadily. But when it comes to, bless me, when it comes to doing a client's project, I always like to be outside, because then when the client reflects back on the footage, straight away, years to come, whenever, they can always see the New Zealand nature in the background, and I always think that's a nice touch. That's just thinking about the future of a project, and making sure it just has that little homely wow factor for the future for them. It doesn't truly affect the work itself while I'm making it, but I think that long-term nostalgia is important, so I try and make those videos as fun as possible. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Bless you, thanks Ryan. Bless you too, Ryan. We're all just in a big old blessed studio right now. I might even swap this to an even smaller brush. Here we go. Getting really small in here. Voila. So what we'll do too, guys, just so we can hone in some more, because honing in is fun. Let's center in on one together. How do we feel about that? You want to come in close just on the one and see how we feel. That's nice. That's fun. And then we'll put this paintbrush down here. Where are you gonna go? There we go. Put this one in my mouth. Bring this over to here. Perfect. Perfecto. Right, where is that palette? Just over here. I know we're in double trouble tonight. Hey baby, can you look at me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. You feeling involved? That's fantastic. I'm glad. And who's that? Pizza. Pizza? Pizza. Close to pizza. I know we're in double trouble tonight. Hey baby, do you look at me? I've got that song stuck in my head and I can't get it out. Show me your light. Double trouble tonight. Glad to be here, that's good. And Brooks. Technically, I'm doing that artistically right now. Wouldn't you say? There we go. Show me your light. Hey Mark, welcome in. We are gently and gradually constructing this portrait. And it's looking pretty fun. We are going to need a lot more white than initially anticipated. And that's okay. I sent 120 vote for creator. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what that means, but I like having it. It's a huge step in the right direction. 120 votes. Oopsie daisies. Paint's coming out the wrong end of this tube. Here we go. You just woke up. Don't say sorry. Most of us wake up every morning. That's a part of how we start our day. Here we go. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Just giving out all the good jokes. Here we go. Right. Just loading myself up with a bunch more parchment right there in the center. Show me your love. Show me your light. Am I up early or am I up late? I am up early. You hear the birds chirping around the place. Jay has just arrived. G'day, Jay Smith. It's going on around, I think we're touching on around the What are we in the morning? About 8 a.m. now. Hey baby, can you talk to me? Hey, I know we're in double trouble tonight. Hey Jay, welcome on in. We are painting. Nosotros pintas. Is that the word for painting? Pintas? Maybe. Maybe not. Nosotros pintas. Nosotros pedimos cervezas. We drink beer. Nosotros pedimos vinos. Nosotros bebimos leche. It's we drink milk, but the only issue with that is I'm not so great with the milk. Why are you wearing gloves? I'm wearing gloves, Mason, because this paint is extra gooey, and if it gets on my hands, it's very hard to get off. So, shut gloves on for me to be able to dress that. It's oil paints. Coming down low. Welcome on in, Sour Candy. Welcome on in. I think one other thing I need. Yes, it's over here. We're gonna be a little bit naughty here, since all these brush strokes are quite small and jittery. I'm gonna sit down gently and add them on. Normally, I ban myself from sitting down. But because the nature of this paint, it's thicker, more buttery. As long as we keep some attitude around, we'll be just fine. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Dun da 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 dun da dee. Show me your love. Show me your light. Here we go. I can come right up to the top there. Dun, Hey, Fairy East NZ. Fairy East NZ. That's exciting, eh?
To do that, you'll need to be online.
Thanks, iPad. Siri, eh? So useful. She never listens when you need her to. And then when you don't need her to, she's just the centre of the conversation. How do you deal with something like that? What do you do? Hey baby, when you talk to me, I know we're in double trouble tonight. Far East. So Gisborne? Is that fair? We're all the way out in Gisborne. Shout out to Gizzy. Where you can ride a horse through the drive-through of McDonald's. That's the kind of place that makes New Zealand, New Zealand. Hey baby, can you talk to me? I know we're in double trouble tonight. Ooh, doo 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 doo. La dee da 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 dee. Show me your love. Oh, you can't get any more east than where I am. No more east, eh? Or the capacity for east. Well, you can't get any more jeepers. I don't think I'm the top of any scale. Which is a shame. You can't get any more here than where I am. In terms of literally right here, I'm winning that competition like hands down. And I can verify it so easily. I just literally glance around and I'm the only one here. And therefore I'm like, in the hair competition, killing it. Absolutely killing it. Like, don't even bother trying to be more here than I am, because I'm literally the only person in the room. Assuming your iPad is still charging, it must be Ryan. It must be hanging in there. I turned off the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which is surprising that Siri still wants to butt in, but I turned off all that, so that makes me think that it should be the best combination of Fanta and a stick. It should be Fanta stick. Hey baby, can you talk to me? Hey, I know I'm double trouble tonight. Getting a little bit murkier with the colours, but that's okay. We'll make this one work for us. Hello, Jade. Jade, it's been a hot minute since you've been on a live. Good to have you back. We're working with oil paints today, Jade, and we're doing, dare I say it, it's very naughty, but we're doing a little bit of sitting. And we never roll like that, so the world's a changing place. There we go. Oity toity. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I, several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Ah, the lilac trees in the heart of town. Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Probably not. Does enchantment pour of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare. They don't bother me, 'cause there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Hey Steve, how we doing? Oh, you've been here for a little while. Yeah, I remember that song from musical theatre times. Got a guy who's like most good musical theatre songs, he's got a crush on a girl. Surprise, surprise. I should be at work, but my daughter started school this week, so I'm starting late. Fair enough. And it does kind of have that vibe. It's a similar painting style to Van Gogh, so I can see that. And Mark hates it. Mark's like, I come from musical theatre. That's incredibly flat. I hate the artwork. I hate his voice. I hate the way he talks. His black singlet is stupid. And some of those pants and gumboots he wears. Why has he got his paint on a white plate? And why is he even using paint? Yuck to the colours. And is that a brush in his hand? Ugh. Everything. Yuck. Sorry, Mark. Just do my best. All I can do is my best. There we go. Let's get a bit more through these parts. Through these parts. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, great question. Great question. Jade, the answer is no. The border is done, but past that, Jade, we just cannot touch that puzzle. It's just impossible. So when we do actual puzzle products, once I make sure that all the puzzles are perfect and legit, we're doing 250 and 500 piece. 1,000 is ridiculous. Impossible, can't be done. How does your arm not get tired? I tried painting a game the other day and I felt like I worked out. Yeah, it's similar to, liken it to, you know those ladies, the ones at Beerfest in Munich, how they can hold pints in their hands and carry them around. So in a similar way, as an artist, the more you do it, it'll just become easy. When you start, yeah, it hurts. I'm sure it did for the barmaids in Munich. But after a certain amount of pints, it just became second nature. Which is kind of cool, the body's ability just to grow used to something. It's pretty powerful. Powerful ability. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. There we go. Bounce this right through here. There we are. I'm going to swap this portrait over. Who's that there? Love Silver. And hey Howard, how you doing? We've got Howard in here, Love Silver. Why are you awake painting so early? It's a good question. Why are we here painting so early? Pretty silly of us, to be honest. I think we'll move on to this one. So I don't think we need to actually do a massive reconfiguration. I'm just going to bring you around here slightly. We're going to frame you here instead. And we're just going to crack into this one next. The overpowering feeling. There we go. And now we're on to number 2. Simple as that. Just angle you around a little bit more. You're great. That is good to hear. It's good to be great. It's good to be great. It's great to be good. Perfect. Can I be your muse? That is a lovely, lovely idea. But it's sort of challenging. People are all over the world, everywhere. And the problem with a muse, especially in this current situation, is that I know I'm making it look nice, but it's very cold in here. And if you're a muse, you're going to get really chilly, but you've got to stay completely still. So you're going to be even colder than the artist. So is that really something you want to put yourself through? I would say, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Just, Thanks, Love Silver. And Howard, I'm doing fantastic. This is a morning in the land of the long white cloud. We're painting a picture of a portrait. And besides that, we're talking about anything and everything. People stop and stare, they don't bother me. 'Cause there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Here we go. You inspire me to get my paints out again. Absolutely. Go for gold. Get your paint out. That sounds like an absolute thrill. I said it again. Said it once, I'll say it again. I've said it more than once, but painting is very much like singing and dancing, in that everyone should do it. And anything that makes you feel like you shouldn't do it, or that for some reason your ability to do it should impact your desire or your right to do it. These things are crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy that we feel like we should be more allowed to dance than to sing and paint. I think painting's the worst of the lot, and I think that's the fault of the community in art. There's this thing around it. What's the word? This idea, this gatekeeping that you must know how to do art to make art. But how does that work? You're allowed to be a dancer in training and learning, but we're very, very don't show your art to anyone in the entire world until you know exactly what you're doing, you know, and it takes away a lot of people who could explore and learn more about themselves and feel a lot of pleasure from art. We take art away from them. We say, no, you can't do that, or show it, or engage in it until you're extremely good at it. What is extremely good? And we start to put these arbitrary things out there. Suddenly everyone making art is doing it in secret, not telling anyone. How many times do you hear that? Secretly making art by yourself, you know. Oh, I haven't showed the world it all, I just do it for me. And that's totally fine. But dancing, we're happy to do that in front of everyone, to express ourselves. And when we see someone else dancing and smiling, it makes us happy. Art's no different. How fun would it be to be in Turkey and watching those cave paintings be made? Wouldn't you get a real kick out of that? I would. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Love Silver. Get started with your day. I hope you have a great one, and if you do get started painting, I wish you all the best in your pursuit. Remember, if you're having fun, you are the smartest person in the room. And you're welcome to reach out if you run into any little roadblocks. Because painting is rife with them. Ooh, Velmore. I can't quite speak that, but oh, I'm sure it's lovely. Yo ho ho, a pirate's life for me. Alright, give me that intense yellow. Yo ho ho, it's a pirate's life for me. I reckon I might have been a pirate. Can't really be pirates in today's day and age, but I would have been one of those good pirates. And it seems like a bad guy, but then like does the good thing. That's the pirate that I want to be. Like a Sinbad. I like that movie. I think that movie was too outrageously successful. I can't remember, but I liked it. Ho ho ho, it's a pirate's life for me. There we go. Splash us around through here. Oh, thanks, Belmore. That's fair enough. It's a very lovely thing to say. I think that anyone who's exploring what they love typically has a sort of glow to them which is contagious and infectious. I think that a lot of the time when you don't know what you like about something, maybe it's as simple as it's been its authentic version, and so you gravitate to it. It's just what happens. It's like it's nothing spiritual. It could be spiritual, but it doesn't have to be. It could be purely psychological. You see another human, another Homo sapien, enjoying themselves or doing what they want to do, and you as a monkey see that happiness and see that pleasure, and you're pulled towards it. And that's a really healthy thing. That's a good thing. And so social media's actually given us the ability above and beyond to get pulled towards things. You just got to make sure you check yourself, because the robot's a great thing, but make sure you check what's on your social media feed and comb it, cultivate it. What's serving you? What are you getting pulled down the rabbit hole of? Is it, I'm not saying watch inspiring videos one after the next, I'm saying, is it how-to videos? They're always quite good for you. How to do this, how to do that. Is it documentary videos? A lot of channels do amazing documentary stuff. Or do you find yourself ending up in a more of a, sometimes, I won't want to say hateful, but aggressive moral outrage corner? It's okay if you do find yourself in one of those pockets, but I always try and whittle my way back from there, you know. Show me less of this, show me less of this, and you whittle your way to find something that you actually connect with more. Celebrating human connection. Human connection. There we go. Perfect. And the side ball here. And this guy needs some work around his eyeballs. Typically when it comes to doing eyes, especially when you're doing impressionist eyes, you just need to keep on keeping on. Don't ever try and create the eye. Just create all the shapes you see. Eventually, it'll appear. And not a second too soon. But if you try and force the eye out, you get this weird bulbous sort of forms. And that's not what we're about. We want more chill than that. Oh. It's like I want to sneeze again, but I'm gonna hold it in. Hey Mike, how we doing? Welcome on in. And Samara, welcome on into the chat. Jesus, sorry, not Jesse. What is your inspiration to create such beautiful works of art? That's interesting. What's your inspiration? What's your inspiration? What inspires you to make? I motivate myself to paint. It's like a workout. You don't get inspired to work out as such. You motivate yourself to work out. And in the action of working out inspires you. And so, when you say what inspires you to make such inspirational works, the works are inspirational. They're inspiring me, and they might be inspiring you too. But to make them, to stand here in front of them and create them, was similar to going for a workout. Get up, have your coffee, get everything set up, stand in front of it, and go. And so there's this step process to actually get in front of the work. And that's okay. That's 100% okay to have that process. But the actual inspiration is oozing from the work itself. And I think we look at a work and we get inspired and wonder what the artist's inspiration was, when actually we're feeling it. What we see that inspires us in the artwork, provided the artist could represent it well, you're literally feeling the same inspiration as that artist. And that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. You don't need to have the same motivation as a rugby or a football player to be inspired by the same feeling of it when a goal gets scored, for example. Look up at the light. It'll stop you sneezing. Will it? Maybe. Oh, it feels better. Stretch it out a bit. There we go. Trina. Hello. Welcome on in, Trina. Good to have you here. Yeah, bit Kiwi of me. And Steve, working out creates endorphins. Does painting do the same for you too? I would say it would. We get quite physical with it too, Steve, so that might actually have an even larger impact on the overall painting experience. But I would say that when you do things that are pleasurable, endorphins are released. And painting is pleasurable. And this is what's so important, guys. If painting's not releasing endorphins, then it's not pleasurable. And if it's not pleasurable, we need to check how you're doing it. Because if it's not providing you, if it's not serving you, then the whole thing is pointless. And you're like, I'm just going to do it and hurt myself in the process to then get to a result. And then when people love my artwork, I'll start doing it in a pleasurable way. No. They'll never love the fake art you make. And if they're confused, and they do, then the issue that will come in is they'll always want that fake art and for you to be someone else. The best result is to always be as authentic as you can be with your art. As authentic as humanly possible. And the beauty behind being authentic as humanly possible is if no one ever sees your art, you'll still have had a really good time. And if the world sees it, and suddenly everyone wants it, and oh my God, and maybe this is what you're bound to do, that's great too. But then you won't have to fake it. You won't have to worry about what you're going to do next, because you can just do you. How relieving and refreshing would that be? See a million people trying to be influencers these days. Become famous by being someone else. I couldn't think of anything worse than being famous and having to be someone else forever. Literally manufacturing imposter syndrome into your life. I don't know what makes us so afraid to just be ourselves. I think it's the fact that if we pretend to be someone else and someone doesn't like it, we don't feel properly hurt, because we're like, oh, that wasn't the real me anyway. You didn't like the smoke and mirrors I put up. Ha, got you. Which the irony is, they probably would have liked the real you had you been able to show it. Giroux, I'm doing great. Welcome on in, Giroux. And I love all the natural light in your studio. Thanks, Ash. It's a shed, actually. So we're painting in a shed. But the shed has fantastic floodlights, which makes it the perfect place to paint, especially with this wet weather that's been going around. It makes it even more ideal to actually be in a indoor environment with good lights. Sheds and garages. Garages are also fantastic, and the reason garages are really cool, garages usually have a door that opens up. So for ventilation purposes, you've got something pretty cool in your court to use. Oh, misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch, my brother's soul. And if the sky be filled with fire and smoke, my inspiration to do my job as a nurse is to see that I can make my patients feel good. Powerful. Powerful. It's a good thing to be inspired by. And welcome, Bastion. We've got a very similar name. Mine's Sebastian, and your one. It might be the same. But at the moment, I just Sebastian. Isn't it cold wearing a singlet? A little bit. A little bit. In a shed here. But, it's working. It's working. I had a t-shirt the other day, a t-shirt yesterday that I wanted to wear today, but I got too much paint on it. And I'm like, you know what, let's just get a fresh start. Let's just go at it with a singlet and see how we get on, baby. And I couldn't find my polar fleece, and I'm like, the morning's getting away, so we'll just get into it. Just crack in, have some fun, make some art. If we get too cold, then at the end of the set, I can just leap in the shower and warm on up, and everyone will be happy. So here we are, and we're happy. So past Seb knew what he was talking about. Landed a few punches there. Ooh, ah, you. And if every day I look across the office floor, there you are. Leggy blonde, goodbye, goodbye. Hey Laura, welcome on in, and greetings from France. I bet you're British. No, I'm not British. I'm Kiwi, but welcome on in. There's a couple of paintings in French actually, in private collections. Most of them go to America, but some end up finding their way to different parts of Europe. Ireland, Germany, France, UK, which is always a treat. And if every day I look across the office floor, that song by Flight of the Conchords stuck in my head. There we are. Oh yes, I love Indonesia. I've been there three times. Huge fan. I like Java. Mount Bromo. I like the Gillies. I like Uluwatu. Oh, Lovina. Lovina Beach, North Bali. It's a lovely spot too. Who's that there? Swati. Swati? Hey Swati, how we doing? Welcome on in. And did you finish the painting last night? What one were we on last night? Refresh me memoras. Was it the painting of David? No way. These still getting pretty close to their finish line though, but we're not. They need a bit more love, but they're coming along really nicely. Coming along really nicely. Here we go. Let's run this paint out. Lovely. And now, in the tail end of our set, as I start to run these paints out, as we get our last few mils onto the canvas. Want you to Very creative. Hey Paul Pikachu, welcome on in. I'm glad you like it. It's a little bit different from our usual works, and the reason why is it's oil paint. This is how we use oils, and it's indoors, and I've been very naughty because I'm sitting down. So we're breaking a bunch of little rules, but that's okay. It's like a half sit, right? We can get away with this. Pin a comment. Can you share the reference? Of course I can. And we'll have a little fun game towards the end of it. I'm almost out of the paint, so hang around for just a moment. Let me just run out the last few strokes here. And then when it's run out, these last few little moments, we'll compare the reference to the art. Here we go. Beautiful. There's our plate. The wonderful colours. Pretty much run out. Gloves off. As soon as I saw any pixel of any paint, I went like, hell yeah, art is amazing. That's fun. That's a good way to be. All right, I'm gonna bring this around here. And I'm gonna bring you guys over to here. So this way we're looking at both the portraits. It's funny enough, that one kind of looks like the guy from Breaking Bad. Anyway, let's have a look at the portrait. Now, bear in mind, the portrait it exists, but it's a reference. It's just for us to actually explode out and play with little moments in colour. So here's our face. 4 a.m. for you right now. Okay, I'm gonna let you grab some sleep. We're gonna do the reference thing, and then you can get on out of here and get some sleep. Okay, here's the photo. So I put this here in front of the individual. You can see where we've got so far. And I'm gonna bring you close to it as well. So here's our face. Lots of contrast, and he's looking straight at you. But we wanna get lost in more of the little pockets and shapes everywhere around the face. And just gently discover it in our own way. The picture exists, and the picture's really cool. Don't reinvent the picture. Invent, create, make something new. And that's what these are. So, let's bring them on in here. If you come in really close to it, and let me just spin this around for you. Let me spin this. Mirror. If I can't figure out how to spin the camera. There we go. That's what Butch was talking about. He's like, if you can't figure out technology, keep the day job. So let's come in here. You can see here, lots of paint everywhere. That's what we're up to. Now we need to let this dry, and then we can come back at it with more crazy color. But for now, it's a good base. It's a good face. And we can tell we're on the right stage because the whole thing's just a little bit blurry. That's what we want. That's what we want. So then when we come in with the next coat, once this is dry, we can start to boof, 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 add detail in there. This one here, same story. You see how there's no nose, eyes, or mouth? That is actually fantastic. So you can see the shape of the head, and this area here, you can see it's starting to actually round out. Perfect. So when this is dry and we come on back and cut in with our whites and blacks, we can really make this face really come to life. And that's where it's at. Fun as. How come you're doing 2? Because it's fun. Do you need another reason past that? No, 2. What's fun about 2 is if I stand back here a little bit more and compare them, you can see that the same artist from 2 different angles, well, not from 2 different angles, but the same artist in the same picture sees the same thing wildly different twice, which is kind of fun. They're both faces, but they both come out entirely unique, which is a pretty fun little commentary on art in general. But let me bring you right on back so you can see everything there. And you can start to see that in their blurry state, there's 2 faces. But there is no dark black lines. So see back here? No dark black lines. And we come closer, none. So that is what the next layer takes. We've got our chaos, we've got our fun, we've got our crazy colors everywhere. Now, we need those blacks and whites to build contrast into it and grab some of the detail. It's a little different. It's very different. But who's that? One more time to win. And Laura, this is oils, so that's why it looks lovely, buttery and wet. That's part of the idea behind it. At a date and time, yes, I will, Mark. We'll look after you on that one. And this is K. I call it primal impressionism because we're using quite rudimentary tools and we're making an impression of the characters. It's funny because you'd say two completely different perspectives, but they're actually two exact same perspectives, but there's a butterfly effect that happens here. And the butterfly effect is when an artist stands there in front of it and the paint on the brush changes and your position changes and what you notice changes, the journey essentially is the same as you flow through the art. But with those minor changes, this butterfly effect occurs. And so actually, although the artist had the exact same intentions and was the exact same artist with the exact same colors, we get two wildly different outcomes. A butterfly effect is the best definition to explain that, I reckon. Anyway, do I do art lessons? No, I don't. Well, you can hang out here and we talk a lot about art, but it's more about process-driven psychology and ideas behind art. If you want hard skills, YouTube, phenomenal place. And there's some amazing lessons on there. Anyway, guys, look after yourselves and I'll catch you later. Bye now.